you very much. As agreed, that we are going to be covering some basic topics, uh, and I have to appreciate you all for picking interest in my last few videos. And to be precise, I saw the list of the request, and the top of the list is to briefly explain Arduino. Someone asked us to briefly explain Arduino and the basic brain behind the usage of Arduino. So today I want to quickly go through that, and in subsequent video we'll be following the topics based on request. So the next video is going to be how to design a tracking system using GPS, GSM, and the Arduino microcontroller. So basically, Arduino is a 8-bit microcontroller. Arduino is just like is a company actually. It's a company that produce development board. This is one of them. You can see this is one. This is Arduino Uno. And the microcontroller that runs on the Arduino basically is the one manufactured by Atmel. That is Atmel. And the architecture is actually 8-bit controller, and the architecture is AVR. That is Atmel Virtual RISC. So, and we have different flavors of the Arduino board, starting from the Arduino Uno. This is Uno R3, the most popular one. And the Uno now we have two types. Actually, this is the removable one, the one that you can actually remove the IC last. As you can see here now, the IC is not on the board here. I've removed the IC. And this is the IC, that is the Atmega 328 8-bit microcontroller, as I've said earlier. This is the IC now that we mostly usually fixed like this, and we are good. So another flavor for this also is the SMD type. That's the surface mount device type. You can see the chip here, the Atmega is here, but it's an SMD type. It's not actually like this. So both of these guys are Arduino board. And also, if you go further, we have the one with bigger extension. It has more. This one have more GPIO. The GPIO for this are just 20 GPIO, 14 digital and 6 analog. So A0 to A13 give you 14, and sorry, D0 to D13 give you 14 actually. Then for the analog, A0 to A6. We're still coming to discuss the detail. And if you look at this one now, this is Mega. So Mega, as the name implies, Mega. And the controller here is 2596. That's at Mega 2596. While this one is 328, the one that is here. And the memory of this is just 32 kilobytes. While this one is 256, 2596. That is the memory. And going further, we have some extension board that you can actually use on the Arduino board. Like this one, I can use one to actually extend the board. And going further, again, we have Nano. This is Nano. So the Nano and the Uno have the same pin out, and they also have the same memory. This is Nano, this is Uno, and this is Mega. So basically that's that. And going further, again, there are other boards again that you can actually use on the Arduino IDE. One of them is the Wemo D1. This is Wemo. This is the Wemo actually, and it has the Wi-Fi board attached on it. That is the ESP826601S. And the advantage of this now over the other board is that anytime you are using this now, you don't need to actually get an ESP and attach it externally. You see, if you're using this one and you want to run IoT project, you basically need this for you to be able to communicate with the IoT platform. So this is the ESP for the IoT, for the Express-based systems. So that's the advantage that Wemo have over other guys. So going further again, we also have some board again that you can probably use on the Arduino IDE. One of them is the Lolin, that's the Node MCU. It's not MCU. It also have both. It has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi attached. You know, so you don't need to actually start looking for external Bluetooth module for whenever you are working on project that have to do with that. So this is Wemo. And going further again, we have the ESP32 on its own. This ESP32 board. This one is actually 32-bit, unlike the other ones that are 8-bit, and they all work fine on the Arduino IDE. Then second to the last, also we have the ESP32 CAM. So if you want to run a project that have to do with image, simple image processing, then definitely this guy is a very good flavor for you. And then if you want to start running tiny ML, that is tiny machine learning, just small machine learning based project, I think you can go with RP2040. This is also a very good guy, also RP2040. So these are just few of the boards that we can work with on the Arduino IDE. And going further to the IDE now, I think we have three most popular IDE: the Arduino Mobile, and for those who want to be using their tablet or smartphone to run Arduino project. Then the other one is the Arduino Cloud. If you're looking for a place where you can share your project and play with some project, Arduino Cloud is the best for you. Then the most popular one that everybody uses is the Arduino IDE. Then lastly, we also have other boards like Actiny 85, like Arduino Blee, that's the Nano Blee for those who want to go into automation, PLC, SCADA, and stuff like that. I think Nano Blee is a very good flavor for you. Then lastly, before I go, I want us to look at some things. There are some features that the Arduino have over other boards. One is that both the analog and digital pins, the GPIO, it has both analog and digital configuration. Unlike other boards that only run on digital GPIO, anytime you're working on analog system, you have to look for either ADC, analog to digital converter, or DAC, digital to analog converter. But when it comes to this, all those things are actually configured here for you. And for this Uno now, we have 6 PWM. For those if you want to run anything like PWM now, you have pin 3, pin 5, pin 6, pin 9, pin 10, and pin 11. They're all PWM pins for those that want to work with PWM. So that is the advantage of this. And if you look at Mega now, Mega have more pins for the SPI, for the I2C, and the PWM. And the default I2C pin for the Arduino Uno is A4, A5. Analog pin 4 is SD, analog pin 5 is SCL. Then for the UART user, you have D0 and D1. Then for the SPI, you have from pin 9, pin 10, pin 11, pin 12, and pin 13. So you can drop your questions, you can drop your comments if there's anything you want us to explain. Though as time goes on, we're going to start working, running some projects, and that will help you to understand the GPIO very well. Then lastly is the takeaway tips. This Arduino board can actually take the sink and sun current is basically 40 milliamp, and the voltage, the input, the voltage you can take in or the one it can give you out is basically mostly 5 volt. So we have 5 volt, 40 milliamp, but advisably you don't draw more than 20 milliamp from the Arduino board. And the digital pins are actually 8-bit, while the analog pin are 10-bit. So when I say 8-bit, 10-bit, you understand 8-bit means you can run 0 to 7. Then for the 10-bit, you can run up to 1023, 1024. Thank you very much. Follow us, like us, share us, and comment, and let's see how we can do better. God bless Nigeria, and God bless today. Boom.